Stuff to do, I
It's
think.
a bonus episode.
Bonus episode.
What were you saying? Wait,
So,
don't care.
oh,
We're hands off today. We have no guest. We have no bonus episode 2. We're not gonna plug anything. We're just hanging out here. I'm working on a troll's leg, a serpentine troll's leg. Bear's drinking.
I'm hanging out after work, working on a nice lady's leg.
We're both working on legs.
We're both working on legs.
And we're glad you could join us, I think.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. It's a real hangout episode.
No agenda. I did just have... What'd you have for dinner?
I had 2 Chick-fil-A grilled chicken sandwiches.
This is your Chick-fil-A night.
My wife is taking a final exam, so I get to veg out.
Oh, and you don't tell her when you go to Chick-fil-A, right? You sneak it.
No, but she
You're
knows.
A little crouched man wandering around the yard.
She always knows.
She comes home and finds the bag every time.
Pretty much. There's no hiding that and the distinct smell of dead Chick-fil-A chicken.
Dead?
What, do you eat it alive?
Does your chicken smell dead? That is weird.
Yeah.
Does fried chicken technically smell like dead chicken?
That's what I associate it with.
This is what we talk about when we're not talking other things.
Before I was so rudely interrupted.
Who interrupted you?
I've been trying to work on creating these images from narratives now that I feel like I've got a little semblance of what I want my style to be.
I don't know. I don't believe in people finding their styles.
Well, not style, but I mean just my process, my
something
workflow.
that you like and that speaks to you, and you're barreling into it. You're
Right.
going down that road.
Because before I was just thinking of what images I like without associating any kind of story or real impression to it.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm taking that next step, going from, okay, I spent X amount of time trying to get drawing and painting down, and now let's make something with a little depth.
What is the depth? Like, what is going on?
Oh, right now I'm working on these 2 ladies in bed. I had this really great... We talked about those classic illustrators like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think. But I guess, but just that bold use of primary colors.
In bed? That's not a work of art. That's just your life.
It is, but
you saw that once and you were like, I painted that.
Pretty much. I want this day. I've been watching a lot of spy movies lately.
Why?
I don't know why, but I'm getting into this narrative of...
But see, hold on. I'm stopping you.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to listen.
That's fine.
No, I feel like when you talk about... I feel like that's a mistake that I was making. Like, that actually hits on the exact mistake that I was making the last 5 months with Gold Star, which is like, I'm watching these Westerns and these sci-fis and I'm liking them and I don't know why. But the answer is like, I was like, okay, not an answer, but in actuality, you really should, like, doing art that looks like that isn't as important as knowing why you like it. So like, it took me constantly being like, nothing that I'm making is hitting the mark of the Westerns or the spy movies like you. And then having to break that down and be like, you know, I didn't actually like it for what it was. I liked it because of the themes it was hitting, which are things that I already liked anyway. So it was all just kind of a wash. It was a wash.
See, you went very head over heels into it, though, and started to create a whole world. I just like this one little image I got going on. And I'm not trying to achieve any semblance of what I think's a cool spy movie or what I've seen as a cool spy movie. I'm just creating the cool image I have in my head of this one scene.
Yeah, I guess I went on a tangent there.
I believe your tangent is valid. You have a great point. It's frustrating.
I'm always frustrated.
I listened to a great speech this morning before work, or not speech, but lecture from this New Yorker cover illustrator, and just the simple ideas they have behind these massive illustrations.
Right.
I've been stewing about it all day at work. I didn't get anything done. I was just sitting there thinking about nothing at all.
You did, okay. What was the speech?
He related a story that was very close to what Dave told us, where he started doing posters, like fan posters of movies that he liked, and eventually a representative picked him up for it, and that's where he got his start. And then he still slowly moved on to New Yorker pieces, but the whole lecture was him breaking down all of his early pieces up to his New Yorker pieces and going into the narrative behind each image. And it's something that I didn't think about when I thought about those cover artists, was putting any kind of story behind these seemingly simple commission cover pieces. So that was my food for thought for the day, as I pretended to do design work.
Pretended.
But I was jealous of you too, making your fantasy pieces, because you always have such great stories behind them, and they're always such large pieces to take in.
Have you looked over here in a while?
Yeah, I love it.
Keep it this way.
I looked at that at work, and I heard the yell in my mind.
I'm giving him a smile. Now he's smiling. Food for thought. Gosh. If you're struggling with an image, I like to just very quickly make it the most hilarious thing I can, and then go back to what I was doing. You can ask my friends. I'll do small sketches before I get to work. I don't ever share them, but like if I just think something's funny, I'll sketch it.
What? Did you paint each texture there on those scales?
Don't worry about it.
Did you?
Don't think about it. If you think about it, it hurts. You think about what I've done for all day, and you get real sad. So don't do it. You're crazy. Don't tell me I'm crazy. Get out of here. The answer's no. I had some Photoshop. Oh, up here I did. But then, you can spot the Photoshop brushes for like the smaller scales.
Right. Have you started dabbing into making your own brushes yet?
I don't need to, because I really, really, really rarely use like any texture brushes. I use them to get the texture that I need, and with the multitude of brushes out there, like I really feel like I can find anything I want. Like it's not going to look exactly like what I want, but nothing ever does, and that's kind of part of the struggle. And then I do 99% of my painting with one brush, so.
Right, I'm
not a concept artist, and I don't need to be.
Here's a brush stroke, there's a brush stroke, and there's the Hulk. Pay me.
Yeah, have you been keeping up with the Black Panther stuff Carla Ortiz has been releasing?
Yes.
That's so cool to watch that one.
Her brushstroke reminds me a lot of yours.
Yeah, that's why I like it so much. Except she is able to like do these use these tools and textures in a way that I can't. And sometimes in a way where I wouldn't want to. But and I think it comes from experience and painting from life, and God, she's just so good. I love looking at that.
She was the best part of Spectrum. I mean, her art education, dropping out of the art institutes, going to the atelier.
Can you tell me about that? Because we couldn't get her on the show. She was busy working on Black Panther. Can you restate that?
She gave a quick rundown of her art school experience, where she went to the art institute, and it was her dream, and it turned out to just be a total blunder. And she dropped out, and eventually her and a friend picked up and moved to California, and she
Was the
started.
friend Jeremy, man?
I don't know, but they lived in a super sketchy part of LA, I think, and she went to an atelier out there and just quickly picked up work after that because she worked super hard and was all in.
Well, you know how I feel about pushing yourself to be in a miserable situation. I heard that so many times. I've heard it so many times. I really need to be ballsy enough to do it.
Yeah, she
I need
said,
to get in a situation, and I am this year. So I've run the numbers on these cons,
yeah,
and if I don't make my money back from these conventions, then it's over. I'm done. I'm gonna have to just go get a job from McDonald's.
you got to get it together then.
I gotta get it together. I mean, this is the year where I have to be like, because there's a point the other day where I was looking at like the numbers for Dragon Con, and I was like, okay, so I'm planning Gen Con, Dragon Con, Norris Con, and I'm looking into Rose City and all these things, and I'm like, if I plan all of this, that's it. No more fallback money. You know, like if I bust a tire, it's like, well, now I don't have a tire anymore. So it's a little intimidating, but I'm finding it also extremely inspiring in that I get a lot more done when I think about that. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
hire me. I would really enjoy not. I want my safety net back, even though I know I'm just gonna throw it right back into the convention.
man, what if you had a goal of just doing one, just somehow getting one magic card mixed in with all these conventions?
Well, you know, people say that to me, and it's not like I haven't tried it.
I know it's hard. Those people never check, well, never reply.
Yeah, Josh told us that. He told us that he went through all the correct like scenarios of throwing out his portfolio to the right people and doing the art dump on the website and all this stuff for years. And then all he actually had to do was meet somebody at was it like a Spectrum one time, and he showed him his portfolio, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, we'll hire you." And it's like I don't even think they look on the website anymore. There's no way they do from the stories that I've heard. Maybe they do. They're getting millions of artists.
It just seems to me from introducing Josh to people at Spectrum who had no idea who he was, but when he
No,
said that he painted for Magic, they all lost it and wanted to talk to him for hours.
of course.
It seems like just getting that one card would be
Mm-hmm.
the
Josh,
ticket to a little bit of coziness while you work.
yeah, and it's not like I don't want to do that. And I've tried. There's also like a certain amount of cost that goes into it. Like everything I do for trying to get work for Magic is stuff that I'm not doing for commissions for other people. And at this point, I'm so tired of it that I just want to paint what I want to paint right now.
I feel you, bro. That's where
I want every bear to leave me alone about it.
I'm still painting to.
There are like 3 bears on my ass about it all the time.
I mean, my end goal hasn't changed. I want to be represented by Mendola or some people. And I
Wow,
want
you
to do
sounded like a demon for a second.
editorial work.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I mean, I'm still conquering the painting a week objective that we set.
I have only been, since we talked to Dave, I have only been painting in my spare time. I do sketches of. So I said, you know, you work for the properties, do work that looks like the movie you want to see.
Yeah,
I have only been doing Chip and Dale adventure drawings
I hope that that's true.
because I want them to come out with the Chip and Dale movie, and I want to do the cover art for it. Just 2 squirrels flying a plane.
Alan's key to a happy life.
Chip and Dale movies.
Please bring back Chip and Dale.
So that I can have a job. No, that's not what I've been doing, by the way. In my spare time, I've been unpacking Todd from the convention and handling a lot of other things for Todd.
That's a lot of work.
God. Thinking about this troll, too. You know how long I've been working on this? You know how long I've been working on this troll?
Most of today.
Just today. I think he's coming. He's coming ahead. He's getting it, man. Look at him.
He's coming along.
You can't look at him.
He's just screaming.
He hurts. He's in pain. He's coming for you.
Is he coming for me? Is that what's happening?
His hand's fun. Yeah, he's either he. See, I want it to be ambiguous. Like either he's dancing, or he's coming for you, or he was like walking and he turned.
Panicking.
I don't know, and that's one thing I really like is trolls are so weird. He's just a wobbly, dancing, crazy guy that lives in the swamp. There's no telling what type of narcotics he's on, and he is just ready.
Put some swamp things around him.
I will. Jesus, is this gonna be picking on Alan Day? Is he gonna be like, tell Alan what to do right now? Get a job for magic. Put the swamp things around him right now.
Like a water moccasin hanging off of his shoulder.
That would be really cool if he had a little snake pit. People don't know what water moccasins are unless they're from the South, right?
Well, that's crazy because they're super dangerous.
Extremely. Did I ever tell you the story about when I met one?
Did you meet one?
So, when I was a kid, I used to love fishing. I still do, except not as much. So my uncle had this slough and that he had used to water his farms. And so every day that summer, they would pick me up from my house. I'd go over there and I'd sit on the edge of the cupboard that the road went over, and I'd fish all day. And it was great. I mean, some of the biggest, deadliest catfish you've ever seen. And so anyway, because they're just the blue bottom ones, it's just awesome. Good. It was great fun catching them. They gave a good fight. It's a lot like painting. And so one day I'm fishing and this thing I'm swimming up, and I'm thinking, look at this catfish. It's just, I've never seen one actually swim so close to the surface. And then this catfish raises its head out of the water. And I'm not kidding, because I'm like sitting pretty low down. When it raises its head, it's like just a foot under, looking me in the eyes. And it's just water moccasin, and it's just looking at me. Head out of the water. And it was one of the most terrifying events of my young adult life, because I can't describe how close it was. And you're thinking, if I move, it's faster than me. And all this is going through your head very quickly. And you're like, but then something takes over when you realize like actually how dangerous it is. And I just bolted. I like rolled backwards. And the weird thing is that it did the same thing. It immediately ran from me. Because I moved
most of
very
the time,
quickly.
they're just scared.
It just bolted.
Yes.
So
it just wanted to love on you.
Yeah, I could have died.
Dang. I mean, we were so close.
My father, who's a farmer, will approach water moccasins cottonmouths without a glimmer. He'll just walk up and just hit them with a shovel.
He's a fearless man. I can see it in his eyes.
I've seen one lash out at him at full body length, and he just calmly steps out of the way.
It's not.
Yep.
I guess I've started doing color studies and
of my
they always
dad.
end up better than the original painting or whatever finishes.
That's the $1 million question. If you could figure out how to make your painting look as good as your sketch, then you're there.
It never happens.
No, never will. Yeah, because you have to bring realism into it sometimes. That's why I really think a lot of people are attracted to anime, because they don't have to bring that realism to it.
Right, but even if you make it stylistic, you have to. It can't be bizarre.
Right.
Well, depending on what your goal is, but
That's why
mine isn't
things.
to be bizarre.
I feel like things like you look at Helsing, or what's another heavy action anime?
Uh, Trigun when it gets dark is
Oh yeah,
similar.
and like just the way people can move is so awesome. But that can't happen in real life. So I feel like every time you refine your sketch, I mean, even with this troll, it's like my sketch is so full of movement, and this guy's just not, and that's a problem I'll have to take care of. And but I don't know if it's possible with the time constraints and everything. But yeah, he can't do what my sketch can do, despite him being a fantasy creature. Do we have a viewer yet?
Hello.
Have they returned?
Oh, I don't have. We're
Oh,
not the same person anymore.
Oh. No, I mean, you can see. Can you not see? Yeah, we have one viewer.
I can't see anything. I'm just looking at these legs.
Oh, okay.
There's 2 pairs of them.
Yeah, we don't usually publicize that we're going to do this anymore, but some mysterious person has become our one viewer the last few episodes. I don't know if it's Bear just messing with me. If you are that one viewer, give a shout out on the YouTube. Bear will go look at it. I
feel
can't
like
because
you
if I
are
leave.
unalarmed at the amount of people that listen to our
Well,
last
after
episode.
the fact. They always listen after the fact. Because we don't publicize that we're going to be on, like, live.
We used to. We started this with the goal in our heart that we were going to be live.
No, I didn't.
We were going to hang out.
You forced me into that. No, I think our guest situation had, but I had never wanted to do a live show. I just wanted to make a show.
Like 4 or 5 recordings from before we made it official.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't put those out there.
You have the very original recording,
and I'm never releasing it. Man, I'm scared to go back and like listen to the Mark episode because I know it's going to be so bad.
The Mark episode's pretty good. I mean, that was a focused topic with Mark.
I had talked about asking if you wanted to talk exercise again this week. What are you doing in the gym? You're having to go to the gym with your job, and this is someone. So like you, I know you've had jobs before, but they usually haven't gotten in the way of your usual gym schedule. So how does it feel to really have to work around that?
I've had to rethink the gym schedule, which isn't terrible, but I go after work now. I get off at 4, but it's easy enough to run over there. I had to take about a month off probably.
To resituate yourself, or?
Just because we were doing so much, I just had to kind of take a break and get my schedule sorted out.
When you say we, you do mean like you and I? We were hanging out.
Yeah, me and you, we were trying to figure our schedule out, but it was nice. I went to the gym yesterday. Today I'm off. I'll be back tomorrow. And I was doing pull-ups and just hanging out, and a guy walked up and was like, "Man, you're a climber, right?" And then we had this whole long discussion about the importance of pull-ups to him and how strong he thought climbers were and how I wasn't actually a climber. And it was just nice to have that offhand compliment after not going to the gym for so long.
Yeah. There's nothing cooler than seeing someone do like full pull-ups effortlessly.
I've lost a lot of. I mean, this is a tribute to just remaining fit. Is you can take a little time off and it'll be okay. I don't have any endurance, but
right.
As far as body weight exercises go, I haven't lost any strength.
Yeah, I always say that I'm never going to not go to the gym again because I hate the endurance part. But it usually only takes like a week or two to come back.
Right.
Then I'm not you. I haven't been working out since I was, what, 10?
I've been swimming since I was 4 or 5.
Bear has been a jerk since he was 4 or 5. Damn. 4
It's caused a life of being very thin and mostly healthy.
No. Just extremely
But now
painful. I see.
Oh, yeah. I suffered a lot for it. I won't lie.
Yeah. You were incapable of moving most of college, I would say.
Yeah. If I wasn't at the pool, I was sitting down. That said,
that was... Whew. Thank you for that. If I wasn't at the pool, sitting down.
It's true. Now that I sit at a desk for most of the day, I finally realize how much it sucks.
And mix it up.
It's really awful.
It's terrible. They don't give you the option for like a standing desk. I mean, you need to switch between them, but
I can get one, but I don't want to because I have 2 monitors and a drawing tablet, and
I sit at a desk all day, but I do go to the gym before I do that, and I can tell the difference. Like when I don't go to the gym and then sit at a desk all day, it really hurts. Like my body knows what recovery is, and so when you go to the gym and then sit down, it's like more okay.
Yeah, I think if I could start working out in the mornings, it'd be all right. But that's waking up at 4, and I did that for 4 years.
So you don't live in a 2-bedroom. Why don't you just convert the other bedroom to a little gym?
Because we pay for that gym.
Yeah, you don't need to.
And plus, it has all these nice pull-up bars and weights and machines.
Come on, man.
It has
Put a pull-up bar out in front of your apartment. No one's going to say anything.
I built a pull-up bar at my last house. I'm not doing it again.
It took you like 5 hours.
It did. You build your own pull-up bar, everybody.
Yeah. Are you complaining?
It's not until you do that you're serious. It really just turned into a popular competition spot for parties at the house.
I bet I can do more pull-ups than you.
Every time.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't even a competition, really. It was just we'd all be partying, and then someone would decide it was time to go do pull-ups, and we'd go do pull-ups.
Of course. I want that now. Maybe I convince Todd to do pull-ups with me. What do you think?
It's the swimmer life. Me and Gabe would do it just for fun. We'd be sitting in the patio and just say, hey, let's knock some out.
I know. I really wish I had a pull-up bar around so I could just do that. Jake Hurwitz, one of the podcasters I listen to, said that the fittest he's ever been was when he had set up one of those door pull-up bars, you know, the ones that ruin your door frame.
Yes.
He had set it up, and like after he would go to the gym every day, if he got up to go use the restroom, he would then do like 5, 10, whatever pull-ups. And I don't know. Sounds like a great idea. I would love to be able to do that.
Sounds like the perfect idea.
Yeah, because I go to the bathroom at least 2-3 times a day. So
frequently, I go to the bathroom as much as possible at work.
So that you're not sitting anymore. Do you have they noticed that you are the reason for their water bill being ridiculously high?
They don't care. They're doubling the square footage.
They're rich, is what you're telling me.
No, we're nonprofit, so
yeah, of course, nonprofits really can never be rich, right?
We don't actually have money. It's all in something.
You have to spend it. That's all it means. You have to spend it.
I did spend it, and I'll tell you what I spent it on this week was Hootsuite.
Okay.
And social media has gotten pretty out of control, I think.
So we never talked about Vero on the podcast, did we? I have
Do we have to?
I would like to. This is one of those things where I I saw all of my artist friends doing Vero for some ungodly reason, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, this is like, even if this, like, I'm gonna wait until it becomes popular.
Well, it's none of that made sense to me.
Yeah, no.
From the
No.
moment I saw, at first I saw Vero and I thought, okay, I'm gonna read about this. When as soon as I saw that it was going to be a subscription-based platform in the future, that's when it was totally nixed.
Right.
That's shooting yourself in the foot.
Right. And also, like, everyone who was joining it in my friends group was an artist.
Right?
The idea behind that is like, oh, we're tired of the algorithm not letting our fans see things. The thing is, even if your friends are like, I don't know, if they love you enough to switch platforms to see your content, then it doesn't mean they're switching platforms for everything else. Like, Facebook is still going to be their go-to, and they're not going to switch platforms to see your content. They're seeing it as you leaving their platform. And it's like, yeah, you're upset that people aren't seeing your posts, but everyone else is fine. They don't even realize they're not seeing your posts.
Or in most cases, they are seeing their post because it's working like it should.
Right.
Otherwise, these artists that are getting 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 likes on their pictures wouldn't be getting that many.
Right. I did see a friend, Bruce, pointed me toward this plugin you can get for Chrome or for anything really that takes away Facebook's algorithm so that you can see, so you see people's posts in real time, right? I had it for I liked it at first, and then after about 2 hours, I instantly hated it.
People will find that there's a reason for the algorithm, or else you're getting the actual stream of consciousness.
Right. It's because if you have 2,000 friends, then you're going to see 2,000 posts before you see another new one.
Right.
That you actually care about.
The one from the artist that you want to see.
And it's like, oh, I get it. So
frustrates me.
Yeah.
Artists get upset, and especially I find fantasy artists, because they're not moving enough volume of followers to get it going the way they want it to.
Yeah. I can't really answer for that because there's people much smarter than me and with more experience that understand it. All I can say is that I saw Vero and knew that it's something I didn't want to jump on. Because, like, artists are notorious for being the last people to jump onto something. If you go to a platform that's not DeviantArt or ArtStation or something with art in the name, and it's really only artists, then you've walked into something that's very centrific to that thing. You know?
Right.
Like, artists are never going to discover Snapchat first. It's just not going to happen.
I did not see one of my non-artist friends sign up for Vero, or just a normal person. It was only artist friends. So now you just have a whole network of artists to share your art with when your main complaint was your fans aren't seeing your art.
Right. And you know who's going to find these new things first? You're never going to hear about it because the people who want to have these new things are 50 million high schoolers who want the new thing, who want to be in the know about the new thing. Adults have jobs. Yeah, they've got this whole fear of missing out and they want to experience the world like anyone else, but they don't have unlimited time.
Right. Ultimately, social media as a whole is not catering to the art collector or person that enjoys art, fantasy art, illustration, whatever.
Right.
It's catering to the general population that uses it.
Right. Yeah. And that population may not be high schoolers, but they're going to be the first ones to let you know what the next thing is.
Right. Because, and then the math and the science is there to divvy out what you get to see and get to skip because you don't want to see it.
Right. That's my that's our thing on social media. It's a wash. There's no point in trying. Just try and keep up.
No, and all you can do is create your work and use those platforms to the best of their ability to put your work out there. And that's it. You don't need to do anything else. And if you're good enough and relevant enough, then you will catch on and get that popularity that you want.
I mean, there's
Otherwise,
certain things like you should definitely know the format of Facebook or the format of Twitter or Reddit to be and you should enjoy those things. That's the only way you're going to be successful.
Practices for sure.
Right.
But there's nothing revolutionary until the technology changes. So it's best to just study it, understand it, and use it to the best of your ability.
Well, we were talking to Pete Morbacher. You know, Pete definitely jumps into and looks up these things about like how can I kind of crack Facebook or Reddit to get the most people to like my work. But then you've got people like Donato. Like Donato is smart. He understands the ability of Facebook. But he also probably had somewhere around 10,000 followers that were buying his work before he ever hired anyone or started keeping up with it. I mean, I used to follow Donato when he was like not really using Facebook, and it had nothing to do with what he was doing. I only followed him because like I love his art and I want to see when he comes out with it. So
right, and there's still going to be people that find Donato that probably don't use Facebook or any social media.
Exactly.
And that's how it's always going to be. It's just extending your reach. And if your message and your art is relevant, then people will care.
Agreed.
That's all there is to it. There's no revolutionizing it. At work, I'm using this thing called Hootsuite, and it's a platform that you pay for to manage all of your social media accounts.
Yeah, well, Mark Sheff uses something like that. I forget the name of it now. Do you remember?
I don't, but if I weren't a company, I would never, ever pay to do that.
Okay.
No, but the whole idea is that you can schedule a post and have it all in one bulk view, and you can look at the feed of all of your social media in one screen, and you get analytics on it. But if you're not a company, like that's insane.
You are a company. You're a personal company. You own your own business now. Even if you're not getting sales, you have an online store and you could be a company.
If you wanted to take it that far, I guess so. But like Facebook has scheduling capabilities. Instagram doesn't, but you can't do a lot of direct advertising unless you set up the links and pay for them through ads, which a lot of artists do.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. If you're good, you don't have to do that.
Okay. I get it. People are going to find your work.
Too many people try to take shortcuts by not doing the art. And
I feel like, yeah, you're never going to see like Jeremy Mann being like, you have to post just like this on Facebook.
No, none of them say that. And a lot of them have people that do that for them once they are already accomplished.
I'm looking at you, tweet at James Jean.
James Jean.
Everyone in the world tweet at James Jean.
Please tweet James Jean.
Because we need him on the show, actually. We get Stephen Nigerian on next week, by the way. And then Dan said not the 12th because he gets home from like a show or vacation or something. But like the 15th. I don't even know what that looks like. But just before I forget.
Looking forward to the Dan talk.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Seeing you in July.
Going to Seattle in July. It's happening.
We'll see if it happens. I doubt it.
There better be some Rothkos because I'm going to see him in Houston.
There's going to be one Rothko.
I'm going to spend at least an hour in the Rothko chapel trying to find out who I am.
I really don't want you to, though. Because whoever you find in there is going to be a terrible human being.
He is, isn't he?
I feel about it.
I'm really looking forward to it.
It's like anyone that's ever said to me, like, Andy Warhol is the greatest artist to ever live.
No, he's just pretty smart.
He was a very good salesman. And you know what? If you're Andy Warhol and actually don't really care about art and just want to make money, definitely get into the whole Hootsuite thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll advertise that. We lost like 50 followers when I said that. A lot of people.
Look, I'm not saying it's not a great business tool. If you want to make money, you can kill it on there. But I work for a nonprofit, so I'm not really out to make money. And my art. I mean, let's go buy my art.
Okay. I had a hiccup in my connection.
Oh, that's fine. I was going on a rant.
Would you say that I need I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that. I was trying to say something funny and it just escaped me. I gotta paint these things.
That's fine. I like your things.
That's why we don't paint during the actual podcast, because Alan isn't one of those people.
It's very difficult. I only do line work.
Yeah, I could do it if like I were doing something like painting these scales, which is really 1-2, but I couldn't do like a 4-step program.
Yeah, I only do monotonous stuff.
Uh-huh. You have to do monotonous, repetitive stuff, or things that you can just zone out. That's why that's why we don't do live shows. That's why we don't do demos.
Technically every show is live.
I have to do NorwestCon. I have to sign up to do some demos, and I don't really know. I guess I could work on this stuff because so they told me I could. Like, I can't show you the finished piece. Look at his hand. His hand looks really cool.
I'm digging it.
So I can't show you the finished piece, but I can show you processes, which is how I'm getting away with this. And if I get a phone call, I'm sending them your way.
That's fine. I'll explain everything.
I understand you will. So that's cool. Cool.
I'm waiting to see the progress on the cover.
You're not going to see that until April.
Ah.
Like, I literally have 4 more of these to do, and they're all much like they're people. They're not like trolls or cats. I can just fuck up.
Who's next?
This is, I think, my last monster. So after this, I have a really cool bard. It's a cool cavalier character.
Don't mess up the bard.
Yeah, the bard's actually really cool. I don't even know if it's actually a bard. So I've got some sort of magician or illusionist that's like jumping in the air, summoning something. So that's really cool. That was a fun reference to get. And then I've got the Cavalier, which, yeah, they're going to be fun, but they're going to be also easy.
Right.
And then the Legionnaire, not the Cavalier. And then I've got a Thief Lord who has a pretty simple idea from what they gave me. But I'm going to try my best to really work in what I think a Thief Lord should be.
Thief Lord sounds awesome.
Yeah, but they wanted a so their idea is they sent me a picture of a Victorian-esque painting, and they're like, just make him wear this and look kind of normal because he's a Thief Lord, like he's hiding. He's not supposed to look like a Thief Lord. He's just like he's a noble. But like, that's not what I want. So I'm gonna take a chance and like show them what it could be, which I think he's wearing some sort of turban and has all sorts of rings and gold, and
that'd be pretty cool.
We'll see.
I mean, that's a different take on it.
We'll see with the Thief Lord. I think the Thief Lord is Jafar, but like a more mercantile Jafar. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
That seems like a Thief Lord to me.
Right? Jafar should have been the King of Thieves.
King of Thieves.
Aladdin really hit what I think thieves should be, like that entire whoever worked on that movie. And then if you look at what's another thief that I like? Rogues are very difficult, I think, to pull off in cinema or in stories. There's a couple books that no one will understand that I think did them really well.
I think it's hard to pull off without being too cheesy.
Yeah. If you show me someone like clad in leather with some swords, I'm just like so uninterested.
The leather hood, the leather mask,
yeah,
creeping real hard, hunched over.
Right. I did paint that like a few months ago, so let's keep it pretty down low here.
I just got handed some McDonald's French fries
from
my wife.
Did she just walk in and hand you French fries? And then
she literally just walked in and handed me a large McDonald's French fry.
Didn't want to be on the podcast. That's kind of
Does not want to
insulting.
be on the podcast.
All of our friends to get her back in here.
She has a very hard job.
Back in here.
And she's in graduate school.
Yeah, her hard job is bringing you McDonald's.
Combined.
Clearly. Hey, I had McDonald's earlier. So also, this is a little Alan tangent. McDonald's, healthiest fast food.
Sure.
No, Google it. It's actual. Like, look at the
Google it.
Look at the nutrition facts for like anything from Subway, Burger King, Taco Bell, and like you'll find that because of the utter scrutiny that McDonald's has gotten over the last decade, they actually came out as probably the most healthy fast food you can eat.
No, for real. Google that shit. It's true.
Google, it's true. So that's my little pet peeve is like people that eat Subway and think they're being more healthy than McDonald's because I ran into that a few times and it's like, no, you're not.
Well, yeah, with that example, just hold one in each hand. Even a 6-inch sub is pretty hefty, especially on the carbs.
Yeah, it has a ridiculous amount of fat and like 1,000 grams of salt just in the bread.
Foot long is an insane amount of carbs.
Right. And then, like, let's say you get like a meatball sub, you're getting like over 90 grams of protein, which the average person just doesn't need.
Just look at the Jared the pedophile example. There's a disclaimer that he only ate like a 6-inch meat and cheese with lettuce and no sauce. When he claimed that he ate one every day.
Why'd you call him a pedophile, though? I'm a little confused.
Did you miss that whole newsreel?
Really?
Yeah, that guy is totally busted for child porn.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I guess it's good I didn't like him.
Horrible human.
Or Subway. I always hated Subway.
Me too.
How did you get him confused with the Verizon guy?
Yeah, I can see how you do that. The Verizon guy is now the Sprint guy, though.
Right. We did see that in Indianapolis a lot. That giant billboard.
Oh, God.
I feel like what a terrible ad campaign that is. I love looking at ad campaigns and being like, I know this was approved by an entire boardroom. And sometimes it makes it more ridiculous that is true.
That's the worst part, is that multiple people signed off on it, and it cost millions of dollars.
And they were like, okay, the best thing that we have is to totally copy someone else's ad. Like, that's really what you came up with. Anyway.
It's embarrassing.
I feel like
my life goal is to get into advertising from here and reset what people think advertising is.
This is I met, the other day I was waiting for the train, I probably told you this, and I met the media buyer, the head media buyer for Rationale, who's in charge of online ads for Microsoft and Acer. Did I tell you that?
No.
Really? I sent you a message about it.
I guess.
The head media buyer for Rationale in Seattle, who I had never even heard of. And she was, we were talking about Mad Men, and she was telling me that, like, when she and her husband had like moved there, that's what, because I think he worked in ads too, and that's what they were both thinking is like, okay, kind of, this is what an ad agency is actually going to be like. But the actual truth is that they have, like, the majority of their money is spent on their data department, and then like all of the data goes to the creative now, and so they never have to ask the question about like what makes people buy things. That answer is obvious in data. So her job was actually really boring.
Well, I think that cripples advertising, because you get like the Funky Monkey Baby is the perfect example. Mountain Dew Funky Monkey Baby. It sucks all of the life out of it, because they got that data from YouTube videos and what their target audience is interested in, which is goofy, random stoner comedy.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that, but you can see it in some of the things, like was it Ram Trucks or Ford that did the recent Super Bowl ad, and it was Martin Luther King talking to sell a truck, and I was just like, this is, I don't know what your data was telling you or who did this. This is so wrong.
Right? That is a disgrace that people signed off on that one. I
Right.
can't believe it.
Not a single person in the room, not one guy was
And these are
like,
supposed to be industry leaders. These are the people that are doing Super Bowl ads.
yeah, they spent like $3 million for every 5 seconds. And some guy didn't raise his hand and was like, this is a bad idea. No one said that because I get me in that room. Seems obvious.
It's insane. It reminds me of that first episode of Mad Men where the cigarette research lady comes in and gives him all of the data
About
and
how
he just
people have
throws
a
it in the
secret death rate.
trash.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that one.
Well,
If you
that's
haven't
what
watched
data
Mad
leads
Men, don't
to
watch our show.
because we are going to talk about it in every episode.
Because we do desperately want to be Don and Roger. Not for who they are, but for what they did.
Look, data is great. I use it in my job every day. I have to have analytics reports for the website and for the social media.
You do often send me pictures of you just doing boring things.
But if you devote the whole scheme to it, whatever you're working on, it will dry it out. If I just went off my data, there wouldn't be any heart to my whole social media plan for the company.
That's true.
Like you know what your target audience wants, you know what
Right.
relates to them. Make it something
But
real.
also we're artists too, and I think that is more apparently obvious to maybe someone like us who's creative rather than the people who are in charge of ad agencies. It shouldn't be like that. That's not what I'm saying, but
you know, I think that you can blame it on the rise of tech and tech people taking over marketing type jobs
right.
because they know the software platforms.
Right.
But then you lose some of the creativity and the heart because they want to know the why. Why does my consumer want this? And what label can I put on that?
Question. Live on the podcast. I was originally planning for my troll, if you can still see him, to have hair, like human hair. But then I went and did this kind of same pattern with the fleshy webbing. And I'm thinking maybe that could be cool to work in along with maybe some sort of fur. What do you think? You think he should have hair like on his head? Or
I
you
think
he
if
should
he
have
has
these...
hair, it should be a different, murkier color and kind of stringier
I
swamp,
see.
like swamp muck.
That's a good idea. Almost like
Just kind of,
seaweed.
yeah, like seaweed hanging off of his head,
But yeah,
but
but a
make it his
different
hair.
color. Yeah, I might do that. I like that he looks like an old man right now. Like,
Yes.
get off my lawn. That's not. No matter how scary or serious the painting I'm working on is, if I'm not like I've been laughing all day. If I'm not laughing at it, I'm not happy with it. Like there's a little thing. Oh man, you know what? You know what I should do right now on the pod. Can you still see my screen?
Yep.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna go down here. We're painting a little. What do you think we should paint for this one? What do you think?
What do you? Oh, the little hidden guy.
You said water moccasin. That's a little too scary.
It is, and it's kind of large.
Right.
What about a little turtle?
You got it. Turtle in water. All right. Get some good reference for it here. You gotta have good reference, folks. I'm so happy right now. This is what makes me tick. When you're at near the finish and you can paint your turtles.
Well, it's all about process. Even Pete said that.
All about turtles.
It's all about turtles.
Isn't that what Pete said?
I think that he just talked about turtles for about an hour and a half.
I am near 100% sure that's exactly what he did. I'm gonna do something maybe a little intricate here, so I'll be painting it as we talk. I was originally just gonna paint a turtle, but now I'm going on this trip with me. I'm forcing you. How's it
I'm
going?
watching.
Don't watch. You're gonna make me nervous.
I've been watching this whole time. I gave up on painting.
Oh God. When you got your, have you been eating your French fries?
Yeah, I've been munching on these French fries.
Otherwise, that shit gets bad. You don't want your
Right?
McDonald's to get bad.
You gotta eat your McD's fast.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got some lines coming in.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it is?
So do you use the textured brush the whole time?
I've recently taken to using this guy who does a kind of textured approach.
Yeah.
Because um my other I have some other favorite brushes. I've got this one, which to me is almost too random. Because if I do too light, you see how it does pauses and then a
Yeah.
splotch. I don't like that. And yeah,
What do you have?
it just doesn't feel natural. It looks good.
What do you have the spacing set to?
Whatever this one came as. So the spacing for this one is I don't even know where to find that on this version.
Whenever you press the brush settings, it's right there at the bottom under size
Tip
and
shape,
hardness.
it's at 2%.
Turn to 1. First thing I do is drop the spacing on all the brushes that I use.
It still doesn't. I don't know. Sometimes I still use it, but unless you're pressing really hard, which gives you the inability to have subtlety, it just doesn't feel natural. And so if you go
Right.
really light, sometimes you just, especially when you're working in details, like you just can't trust it to make the decisions that you want. And my other favorite, I love this brush. This one feels so natural. I use it for my drawings.
I've used that one.
I love it. I love it. Random texture, semi-random texture. But this one is also a little uncontrollable. I could have used this for the entire painting. This is one I could have used, and I actually started to use it. My all-time favorite brush is this guy because I figured out Tyler Jacobson uses it.
I can tell it's pretty defined.
Yeah, it's good. It looks like a brush stroke. It's not trying to be anything other than a digital brush stroke, and also gives you some nice layering. Like it doesn't layer like some brushes. Like some brushes would just layer, 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 layer. This one will stay at the same opacity no matter how many times I go on over it, unless I push harder.
It's strange. I feel like a lot of the pros don't use transfer on their brushes at all. They set it to a certain opacity, and that's what they work with, and then they switch it up if they need to or switch it down.
I feel like a lot of the pros that I see use the round brush from Photoshop.
Yeah, they don't use any other brush.
Yeah, you want to say how Todd paints? I've probably shown people how Todd paints. He'll start with something like a texture. Let's say it's painting an edge like a mountain top. I'll paint a little mountain for you. All right. So this is going to be our mountain. Okay.
Yep.
We got some randomness to it. We're going to do a Bob Ross here. And then he switches to his water brush in Corel. And this one, it's a blending brush with some scattering. And then you just... And if you were to switch over to like a Todd Lockwood painting right now, you'd be like, oh.
Oh.
And that's exactly what he does. You want to bring some clouds in? Cool. Bring clouds.
I see it.
And that's really it. And you like that's really good sometimes. You can see I use it. Like if I want to, like if I've got some of my drawing, like here is where I might use it. That's left over. It looks like digital relics. I'll just take that and kind of smudge things out if I have my sample layers. But I also find that and you can see it kind of working there. I also find that in Photoshop, that one really takes up a lot of processing power. So I really prefer to use the mixer brush.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a little more, it's not as random because it goes in the direction I want, whereas the scatter brush really scatters things out. So it's not as random, but and that is the smudge tool set to scatter.
Yeah.
It's not as random, but it looks more organic and takes up less processing.
Setting this much tool to scatter used to be the only way.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it? Back when we were in like '96.
Back then, man, doing forum tags instead of trying to paint on the computer like I should have been.
I remember that. I remember doing. I did the Final Fantasy VII Meteor by using the smudge tool. I got my first Photoshop CS, or not CS, it's Photoshop 6, 1996. Oh yeah, what was I doing? Okay.
There you go. Back down to the Secret Surprise.
Secrets.
And all my pieces right now, I'm trying to nail the figures in 2 colors.
That's a really good practice. That's a practice our teacher tried to teach us in college and utterly failed at. Yeah, you don't remember that.
I remember that very well. Well, of course I've done it with traditional media, but it's obviously quicker and a little bit easier to do it on the computer, and it's been really good exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think definitely you should hit up some gradient match.
Nah, do it by hand.
Alan and his gradient match. Yeah, you should, because it teaches you good control. You do black and white, or are you doing like red and blue, or
no, whatever colors fit the image. I'm just trying to fit it into the work. Because I've done a lot of studies, and I'm at the point where I just kind of want to do pieces that I enjoy and make it part of my studies. Mm-hmm. Okay. With the time that I spend on it. Is it a little shell?
No.
A little shell?
You know that it is.
Little leg. I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with one color backgrounds now.
I feel like that's useful. And then you can start adding other colors, right?
I'm chasing my primaries.
Damn it. This is what I really think of your art. Damn it.
You got it.
You never do what I want you to do. No, I think that's a quality thing to do.
Well, the thing with limited palettes is it helps me understand form a lot better.
You know, when you think about the Zorn palette, which is what people say, or the Sargent palette, which is what people think of when you say limited palette, if they're like into art history. Those are things that like they came to independently. Like no one ever told them about the Zorn palette, you know?
Right.
Because it didn't exist and they made it themselves. It was based off of study and academia that they had maybe gone through. But no, I feel like if kind of like what you're doing, you're not saying, oh, I'm going to use a limited palette for that sake. You're slowly building up to it. And that's really what you should do, because you can't use somebody else's methods and expect anything but mediocrity.
No, I have their work to look forward to, and then I'm forging my own path forward. When I'm doing these pieces, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm going to do a limited palette today and go in this route. I just say, red, yellow, purple. Okay, let's go. And I run from there.
That sounds great. That's what I've been using my gradient maps for, is to get limited color and for me to work with. Do you see my turtle?
I see the turtle. He's coming together.
He's crazy, man.
I can't wait to hear what the Cold people have to say about your little turtle.
My little turtle? I bet they're going to say nothing.
I guess the piece is great, but can you take the lizard man out?
Take the little turtles out. Oh yeah, what if we love the turtles? Can you please remove the troll? Here comes the big surprise. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're ready for this, were you?
Is it another turtle?
Oh.
Is he upside down?
No.
Turn him on his back.
Like the troll tripped him.
Yes.
like the troll tripped the crazy troll didn't care.
Of course he didn't care. You spooked him.
Yeah, all the time I've been doing this, it's like, oh, I have to try not to think of the Dave Raposa bog witch.
You know, I was gonna say something, but I chose not to.
What was the thing that you said that I need to
I
look
was
at
going
that?
to relate that whole image to the bog witch.
Yeah, that's I have been definitely. You can't not relate those things, but it's I try not to think too much about his story about how the troll's just been hanging out lonely in the bog.
Right? Talk about forming a narrative. He can get into a story of that single image like no one I've seen. He talks about having a mirror beside his computer and acting out the faces while he works.
That's something I would like to do. I need to invest in a mirror.
Trying to capture that emotion.
His turtles?
Turtles?
The most detailed thing in this is gonna be these turtles. Let me give them some grass to eat down here. I love the
I think you
turtles.
just need to be a gurney and start painting dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs and turtles.
I think that's where your true happiness lies.
Is it your wife that likes turtles or Alex's?
Mine.
Oh, so I need to send her a print of this.
She'd love it.
Just the turtles.
Just zoom all the way down and crop it.
Oh man, I had a great time painting that turtle.
You did good. See, that's speed paint at its finest, everyone.
There's some little strokes of bog grass coming out of
I
the
think that's
water
the
here.
best tutorial you've given.
The turtles.
Yeah, look at how quickly you threw together two turtles on a log. Hello? Hello? Hey,
That was weird.
glad to have you back.
That was strange. I'm not sure what you did.
I have no idea. You just stopped and everything stopped.
Well, we still had a good time painting the turtles.
We did. I feel
I
like
think
that this is a good way to end the bonus episode.
the bonus, the overtime. You have a wife to go hang out with.
I gotta go hang out with that wife.
To
I gotta
finish.
eat these French fries.
French fries.
You gotta finish your swamp troll.
My troll. I got to put his feet in some water here. Figure out the background a little bit, maybe. I
Anyone
really
that's been
enjoyed.
listening needs to go find something better to do.
Yeah, still that one viewer. Love you, whoever you are. Really have no idea. No one has. You know what? I'm gonna go check.
Shout out to that one viewer. You're a champion.
I'm gonna go. Hold on. Stay here for a second. I'm gonna go check and see who it is. I can't actually see who you are, but if you can post in the chat, that would be. I'm gonna give you a call out. The one. You're gonna. Okay, he's not in the chat.
Well, thanks
He,
anyway.
she.
Russian robot.
Oh, maybe that's who it is. Well, see you next time on
Thanks for hanging out.
the Hanging Out podcast.
We're hanging
I'm not
out.
gonna plug the links because
We're not
it's
plugging
extra.
anything.
We're not plugging. I'm gonna go.
Get out of here.